Hello everyone, welcome to SpeakBooks where we review books and it's fun. So, as you can see, today is not an ordinary book review like always. I am in the borough of Buckinghamshire in a town named Great Missenden. The reason I have come here to see a museum that celebrates the life of one of the greatest children's author in all history, Roald Dahl. So, this museum is actually built right on top of his old house to get the feel of where he worked and all his inspiration ideas and the atmosphere he wrote in. So that's a really good thing about this museum. And yes, I'll see you when we reach there. Welcome back everyone. As you can see, the blue building on my left is the Roald Dahl Museum, and we're here. This town, Great Missenden, is actually a really small town. So it's really nice to just go for a stroll in this town, buy some souvenirs. Yeah, that's a really good way to relax your time if you don't want to go to the museum, or if you finished it. Here's the display cases. As you can see, they sell shirts, books, stationery, postcards, and yeah, literally everything, even magnets and snow globes about Roald Dahl. So whatever you want to get, it's in that souvenir store. So here we go, we're entering inside the museum. This is the door to a Roald Dahl themed cafe that they have right outside the museum. This cafe is called Cafe Twit because it's based on one of the books Roald Dahl wrote, so all the characters will be in there. I myself didn't eat there, but I'm sure the food will be really good because, well, it is Roald Dahl. He's the master of everything sweet, like chocolate. So, yeah, I think I missed the opportunity there. This is the central courtyard of the museum. The museum is just around this courtyard. It's a really small museum. So there are three exhibits in the museum, which are 3 stages of Roald Dahl's life, such as the first one, his childhood, the second one, his war career, and the third, his writing career. So each of these exhibits just show that around this courtyard where you can kind of just snack on some food from the cafe, or you just want to sit and just look at the scenery around you. So that's a really good layout for this museum, and I think other museums should follow that as well. Here is a giant BFG foot advertising the movie that came out last July, which was directed by Steven Spielberg. This is a really nice touch as, well, it's a nice advertisement just to put in the entrance of the museum, which I really like. This is a collector's edition picture frame like of one of the Quentin Blake illustrations in one of the Roald Dahl books, George's Marvelous Medicine. These things sell for a lot of money, but are really worth just keeping in your house if you're a fan of Roald Dahl. This is the entrance to one of the galleries of the museum, which is the Boy Gallery, from when Roald Dahl was a child. So this gallery explains all his childhood, all his pranks and stuff, and the door is shaped like a Wonka bar, which is one of Roald Dahl's imaginary chocolates from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I think there's a nice touch because actually Roald Dahl was pretty addicted to chocolate when he was young. So it's nice just showing that out to the crowd. It's really nice. In fact, one of his quotes are, "If I was the principal of a school, we would have, instead of a history teacher, we would have a chocolate teacher." So just to show that, I think it's a really nice touch adding that chocolate door in. In the Boy Gallery, you actually get to try out an exact replica of Roald Dahl's uniform. So this is a really nice activity for the little kids to try on the exact uniform that Roald Dahl wore when he was a kid in England. So that's a really fun little thing to do if you're in that museum. This is a replica of a prank Roald Dahl played when he was a child. Pretty much, he went to the shopkeepers and secretly put a dead rat in one of the candy jars. Yeah, the shopkeeper got pretty angry, but this was highlighted in Roald Dahl's autobiography of when he was a boy. Well, the autobiography was technically called Boy. So in that autobiography, he shows how exactly he did all these pranks. This is the very first edition of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which was published in 1964, I think. So what really surprises me is it wasn't illustrated by Quentin Blake. I really thought it would be illustrated by the guy who draws pictures for every single one of Roald Dahl's books, but it isn't. That's what really caught me off guard on this book actually. So yeah, that's one interesting fact. One of the things I like about this museum is that it's going very intimate, meaning it's telling you it doesn't portray the author as an idol, but more as an actual person, and this shows that. This is the original inspiration notes for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So Roald Dahl, this is his handwriting. He built off of this particular idea and wrote his story on top of it. So yeah, I'm really happy that the museum showed this. This is very inspiring to me. I really like this picture because it shows Roald Dahl writing in real life, but with one of his characters sitting next to him and like a fictional world around him. I like this because it's a really creative way of showing that he's in his own world when he writes. So I really like that they have these kinds of pictures. It's very nice to just see them. I felt that this picture was really nice because it shows Roald Dahl was a bunch of children reading his stories. So it shows like the bond he has with him and children. So you can understand why he leaned to children's writing. And I just thought this thing was really funny because, well, it's just really funny. It just says lose and a character's hand pointing to it. How can that not be funny? This shows exactly why I like this museum. You see, they have placed Roald Dahl's desk, table, whatever was on the table, the exact place as it once was. Like where the desk is now, it was there just when Roald Dahl was writing. So that is a really good point, and that is exactly what I like about this museum. And yeah, that's one of my favorite things about this museum, that they have not changed anything that was there. So that's a real plus point. So this is a list of everything on his desk exactly the way it was when he was writing, like in real life. So there's a ball of silver foil made from a lot of chocolate wrappers. It weighs 11 ounces. The top of his hip bone, a model of the airplane that he flew in World War II, his spinal shavings, a jug with pencils on it, a clothes brush with his name, and a lamp. Out of all the things on his desk, the one that interested me was the lamp. Because, you see, the lamp, it was kind of his ritual to turn all the lights off and put the lamp on when he was writing. But when the lamp broke, the lamp's bearings broke. So he balanced the lamp using a towel and a golf ball as support. So I thought that was really funny and interesting as a fact. So, hope you enjoyed my little tour of the Roald Dahl Museum, everyone, and thanks for watching. This is SpeakBooks.